Good afternoon, everyone. My name is JC De Guzman, and we are back to our daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis video for June 21, 2019, in preparation for the next trading day on Monday. That's going to be June 24, June 24, 2019. And this afternoon, I'm going to talk about JGS, MWC, FB, CHIB or China Bank, MRSGI, Web, CLI, Green, SLI, and APC. Okay, so we're going, aside from this discussion of technical analysis, I'm also going to include my recommendations and of course my overall sentiment by the end of each analysis. And for the new subscribers, let me remind you, like what I always do, that this video is for short-term trading purposes only. Some methods you can apply also. Some of the methods you can also apply them for long-term investing. Okay, and I suggest that you back read some of those posts that we already have in our private clients forum, so you can pick up some shall we say, golden nuggets of information that which you can apply both for short-term trading and long-term investing purposes. But let's focus in this video whereby I'll be talking about these 10 stocks one by one. Beginning with JGS, an index company. It closed today at 66.6. Support remains at 56.20. Resistance is at 69.6. JGS just continues to move higher than the 10 simple moving average, and like what I've mentioned in the previous video where I also talked about JGS, we are still seeing a perfect bullish alignment among its three simple moving averages, thereby making JGS bullish in the short term and long term on the daily chart. The positioning of the MACD above the signal line adds more to the bullishness of JGS. The positive DMI, although it's hovering the negative DMI, has not placed JGS in a strong upward momentum yet. So we will get there probably once the price touches the resistance at 69.6. RSI is still distant from the classical overbought level. There's still a big possibility, especially with these bullish signals that we've been seeing, for JGS to inch closer to the resistance at 69.6. The trade and volume distribution chart of JGS tells us that the closing price today also happens to be the intraday high, and I don't think this was only driven, this huge volume that was registered at 66.6, 92% of today's volume was registered at that price point. I don't think it was all about a huge cross trade, because 26%, one-fourth, or a quarter of today's total number of trades was registered on the intraday high, which is also the closing price today. So if I'm going to pick a dominant range here, I am going to nominate this range between 64.45 to 66.6. That is in favor of the bulls or the buyers for JGS. If you have had JGS, you can still top up your position. I think it's still logical to add more shares or to enter a new position, provided that you are happy with your reward to risk ratio, of course. So it's still, for me, it's still more likely for the ascent in price to continue. I'm not seeing any alarming signals that could indicate a weakening upward momentum or weakening upward momentum for JGS. I'd also like to mention that it closed today above its VWAP or volume weighted average price of 65.67. So it's all the more bullish for me. All 4-point criteria are present on JGS as well. So you have lots of bullish signals to either hold your position, to top up, or to enter a new position. For those who would like to enter a new position on Monday within the dominant range that I've given you, make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio first. Next we have MWC. This company or this stock closed today at 25 pesos per share. It's at the brink of crossing above its resistance at 25. Midterm support is at 23.3. If it breaks below 23.3, that will test the major support at 21 pesos per share. The price also broke above its 10-day simple moving average, and MACD has been moving above the signal line since the last week or third week of May. So congratulations for those who were able to, for those who spotted the satisfaction of the conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combination. The upward momentum is already very strong. RSI is still relatively distant from the classical overbought level, thereby giving MWC more chances to test the waters above the resistance at 25 pesos per share. Okay, volume is looking good, and it closed today above its volume weighted average price of 24.55. The trade and volume distribution chart tells us that the dominant range is between 23.9 to 25 pesos per share, which is in favor of the buyers. You also have a data-driven reason to top up or to enter a new position. For those who are planning to enter a new position, make sure that you calculate based on this resistance that is positioned at 28.25. Okay, you can use 25 pesos per share as your well, relatively speaking, can be considered as support already. So by the looks of it, you will have an attractive potential reward than your potential risk here. Make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio, because there's a 50% chance that profit taking might be considered. Significant profit taking could happen above 25 pesos per share, since RSI is about 10 to 15 points away from what I consider to be a classical overbought level. So be ready for that possibility, okay? We're not biased here. We have to make sure that we consider both sides, and by including data analysis, we will be able to identify which side is more dominant, okay, or dominant. So there you go. Next stock in the list, we have FB, San Miguel Food. This company closed today at 113.5. It respected the support at 104. Resistance is at 117.8. It's already moving above the 10 SMA, and MACD registered a golden cross above the signal line today. Okay, but actually the first crossover of MACD above the signal line happened last June 4. June 4, and on that day, let's see, on that day the price also rose above the 10 SMA. So if you manage to catch that most recent, not really most recent, but the crossover prior to today's crossover, if you were able to catch that, I think your trailing stop loss should have not been hit, or has not been hit yet, especially if you have applied 5% risk tolerance for your when you calculated your reward with your trailing stop loss. So you should already have a positive PNL, profit and loss, profit/loss, positive PNL on your portfolio by now for FB. The upward momentum appears to be very strong already, since the average directional index is already 25 points. It's already at 25 points. RSI is still distant from the classical overbought level. There's still a possibility for the ascent in price to continue, given the presence of these bullish indicators. Now let's find out if we will see a dominant range that is closer to the intraday high than the intraday low, and I think it is the case. The dominant range is between 104 up to 113.5. It's in favor of the buyers. So those who are planning to enter a new position on Monday, I suggest, let me show the chart again. I suggest that you position below 110, perhaps between 104 to 110. So position yourself quite conservatively within that range. But if you see that FB opens the market at 113.5, between 113.5 to 114, I suggest that you calculate or generate a new trade and volume distribution analysis, or ask for my assistance so I can post the chart and the statistics of our TVD chart for FB on Monday. Okay? But that's my recommendation. If you're planning to enter a new position between 104 to 110. Okay? Just about 3 to 4 steps backward as far as the dominant range is concerned. Okay. And for those who still have this company, you can also top up on your position. Okay, I don't see any weakening. I don't see any signs of a weakening upward momentum yet. And it closed above the volume weighted average price of 110.13. So I am bullish on FB. Next, we have China Bank. It closed today at 28.7. Volume weighted average price was 28.20. That's bullish. And MACD is still moving above the signal line. The most recent satisfaction of the conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combination were spotted last May 30, 2019. So congratulations for those who are loyal and consistently following our 10 SMA and MACD combo. Okay, so the upward momentum remains. The upward momentum is not yet very strong, especially that we have. That's because we have a wide spread between the support and resistance level. Okay, ADX is still at 15 points. So I think we can only categorize CHIB with a very strong upward momentum once the price touches 31 pesos per share. That's the precursor, or the precursor to that resistance level at 31 is 29. Okay, it's still more likely for me. It's still more likely for the ascent in price to continue in the case of CHIB. I also do not see any signs of a weakening upward push for this stock. Okay, let me show you the trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range, by the way, 28.7 is also the intraday high. So the dominant range here is between, as far as volume is concerned, I would suggest that the dominant range is really not a range but a single price point. It's at 28.7. So if you are planning to top up or enter a new position in Monday, I suggest that you position quite conservatively also between 28 to 28.7. Yes, I know 28 is not a traded price point today as far as this trade and volume distribution chart is concerned. But it's better to be a little bit risk averse on your position on Monday, especially at the opening bell. So remember, 28 to 28.7. Okay. For those who are still planning to enter a new position, calculate your reward to risk ratio. Remember that the resistance after 29 is 31. I am still bullish on CHIB. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. RSI is already playing inside the classical overbought level. So again, for you who are planning to enter a new position, consider the possibility of a pullback once the price touches 29 on Monday or any day next week. So you have two choices. It's either you do a test buy within 28 to 28.7, or you wait for a breakout above 29. If the 4-point criteria are still present once the price is already moving above 29, then that's the time that you can also do a test buy, just so you can add more conviction on your sentiment that the ascent in price is indeed more likely to continue. Okay, what will I do if I were to trade the CHIB? I think I will be waiting. I will choose to wait for a breakout, buy on breakout, Sell once trading stop loss is hit. I think that's the game plan that I'm going to execute in the case of CHIB. Okay? So that's my personal take based on my risk tolerance. Okay? And investment horizon as well. Okay, let's check. Yeah, I already showed you the trade and volume distribution chart. Next, we have MRSGI. It closed today at 2.56. Support is at 2.41 or 2.4. Midterm resistance is at 3 pesos per share. After 3 pesos, we have 3.5 as the next resistance level. Today's closing price managed to inch 2 centavos higher than its 10-day simple moving average. Let's zoom this. MACD also registered a golden cross above the signal line. So this is a good opportunity for those who are looking for newly satisfied conditions of our 10 SMA and MACD combination. This is a good entry price or good position for this particular stock. So on Monday, let me show you the trade and volume distribution chart just in case you would like to do a test buy on MRSGI. The dominant range is between 2.5 to 2.56. Okay, 2.5 to 2.56. Perhaps you can try to position between 2.5 to 2.5 to 2.56. Try that on Monday. Do a test buy on that area if you are happy with your reward to risk ratio. And if you're going to consider this support at 2.4 and the resistance at 3.3 pesos per share, of course you will get an attractive potential reward. So it's up to you. The indicators are bullish on MRSGI, and my overall sentiment is bullish as well. It's up to you now if you would like to do a test buy because the conditions, again, of our 10 SMA and MACD combination have been met today. All right. Next, we have Web. It closed today at 3.47. Support is at 2.5. Resistance is at 3.8. We can say that there's a midterm support at the 3 pesos per share. Let me plot that line somewhere there. Okay, it's the precursor to 2.5. It already broke below its 10-day simple moving average, and unfortunately MACD already registered a death cross below the signal line. So this is not the kind of signal that we're looking for if we are planning to look for or spot some stocks that are ripe for a new entry price. So avoid Web for now, for those who are planning to enter a new position. Now, for those who have had Web since the last week of March this year, I suggest that you, or since the last week of March, or maybe since the third week of May, I suggest that you follow your trailing stop loss. Okay, if you enter in a new position on Web in the third week of May, why am I mentioning the third week of May? What's with the third week of May? The conditions of the 10 SMA and MACD combo were met on that week. So if you have had Web since the third week of May, congratulations again. So sell once your trailing stop loss is hit. Sir, can I preempt my trailing stop loss based on what you have read on the chart of Web? I think you can also consider preempting your trailing stop loss in the case of Web. There's a huge red volume here, huge red volume bar. MACD registered a death cross, and the price also broke below the 10 SMA. So those are three scores that inspire me to recommend preempting your trailing stop loss. Yes, okay. If you don't have Web, stay that way. Don't buy it yet. Okay. All right. Next, consider buying Web once the conditions of the 10 SMA and MACD combo have been met once again. Or if you can wait for that to happen, at least wait for the 4-point criteria to become perfectly present on the chart of Web. If you don't have both, the 10 SMA and MACD combo is falls and the 4-point criteria are absent, it's all the more that you should not hurry in buying web. Okay? The dominant range on the chart of web is between 3.47 to 3.56. 3.47 to 3.56 in favor of the sellers. Next, we have CLI. CLI closed today at 4.85. Support is at 4.7. Resistance is at 5.11. It's at the brink of crossing below its 10 SMA. How about MACD? Okay, MACD failed to register a golden cross above the signal line because of today's red candlestick. You know what? If only if CLI registered green candlestick today, we should be seeing a golden cross already on the MACD's histogram, but it was interrupted. It was intercepted. So see that yesterday. Yesterday, if I analyzed CLI yesterday, I would have given you a bullish assessment or a bullish overall sentiment on CLI. Here comes the importance of being on top of your trailing stop loss, because yesterday, if you're going to consider all of the price action and volume yesterday, you would get a bullish sentiment on yesterday's price action. But do you still remember what I said in my previous videos, that no matter how much data that you've used to arrive to that bullish sentiment, sometimes the market doesn't care how much data you've used in coming up to that bullish sentiment for that stock. So I do hope you're now starting to appreciate the importance of knowing where your trailing stop loss is positioned. Okay? So don't enter a new position on CLI yet. The trade and volume distribution chart tells us that the dominant range is between 4.85 to 4.90. 4.85 to 4.90. Okay? In favor of the sellers again. So don't buy it yet. I am bearish on CLI. It's more likely for this stock to test the support at 4.7. Let's see if it will if the 4-point criteria will become green, if all four will become green once the price touches 4.7. When that happens, go ahead, do a test buy. When that happens, okay, it's a conditional statement. Okay, next we have green. The stock code is green, but the candlestick is red. It closed today at 2.42. Volume weighted average price is at 2.44. It's also already moving below its 10 SMA, unfortunately, while MACD maintains its position below the signal line. So it was at the brink of registering a golden cross on the MACD histogram as well, if not because of today's red candlestick. So similar case with CLI. So the plan to register a golden cross was intercepted by today's red candlestick. Okay, the usual mantra on a Friday, every Friday, selling. Okay. RSI is on a neutral level, and based on the DMI histogram, it's more likely for green to just continue trading the range between 2.25 and 2.6. Okay, it's more likely for green to just trade that range and not register a trend, based on my reading on the DMI histogram, as far as its ADX is also concerned. Okay, here's the trade and volume distribution chart. The dominant range is between 2.42 all the way to 2.44. So close to the intraday low. So don't trade. I myself, I'm not interested to trade green based on its anemic so to say, anemic or pale price action, and especially what I have read on its DMI histogram. Okay, so next we have SLI. This stock closed today at 1.88, support is at 1.8, resistance is at 2.07. Let's make that 2.10. Okay, so it's also moving below its 10 SMA already, and MACD is still moving below the signal line. So RSI is already downward sloping. The negative DMI already crossed above the positive DMI. The downward momentum is not yet very strong, but don't wait for that to happen. So as early as now, avoid SLI for now. Okay, wait for the let's see, once the price touches a 1.8, if the 4-point criteria are already present, then we can do a test buy when that happens. But for now, let's avoid SLI. The dominant range is between 1.88 to 1.9, closer to the intraday low than the intraday high also. Last but not the least, we have APC. This company closed today at 0.485. 0.485, support is at 0.485 also. Resistance is at 0.63. So if APC will continue to register a price lower than 0.485 on Monday, that will make 0.395 as its next support level. MACD is still moving above the signal line. The most recent satisfaction of our 10 SMA and MACD combo was spotted last May 15. Okay, congratulations for those who are loyal to our 10 SMA and MACD method when it comes to spotting better buying price for a new position. Okay, how much was that? How much have you gained already? From 0.39 to 0.48. Wow, that's a lot percentage wise. Okay, so don't enter a new position. For those who have had APC, you are better off sticking with your trailing stop loss, or you can also consider preempting your trailing stop loss. But I don't think you have to hurry in preempting your trailing stop loss, because today's volume is nowhere near the height of the volume bars for the past 3 trading days. So there was, overall, today's traders of APC did not see that much a bigger reason. They did not see a relatively big reason to hurry up in selling their position on APC. If they did, we should be seeing a tall red volume bar that could be higher than the previous 3 trading days volume bars, or at least of the same size. With any of those volume bars for the past 3 trading days, but it's relatively lower than the individual daily volume bars of the past 3 trading days. Nonetheless, if you still would like to pursue preempting your trailing stop loss, I suggest maybe selling a few tranches only, but not everything. Well, of course, depending on the size of your position. If your position is just worth about 10,000 and below, well, I suggest selling everything at once. Don't sell 5,000 worth of APC shares and then the other 5,000 by the next trading day. That's not logical. It will just minimize or reduce your gains due to, guess what, taxes and fees. Okay, break your position into multiple tranches. If your total capital for that stock, it costs at least 50,000 pesos or above. If it's anywhere below 50,000 or 50,000 and below, I suggest not dividing it into multiple tranches. Well, that's me. Okay, that's me. Perhaps if you're a beginner, then I suggest splitting your 50,000 worth of capital in position in a particular stock into maybe 2 to 5 tranches in the beginning. But as you gain experience, of course, you will also upgrade your risk tolerance like mine. Okay. So, but for now, I am bearish on AP, APC. For those who are planning to enter a new position, I am bearish for them. For those who are planning to enter a new position. For those who have had APC, like what I've mentioned since the satisfaction of the most recent 10 SMA and MACD combo, it's either you hold your position or you preempt your trailing stop loss. Okay, so you've heard my technical analysis, recommendation, and overall sentiment for these 10 stocks in preparation for the next trading day on Monday. If you have follow-up questions, please ask in our private clients forum. Have a great weekend. My name is JC De Guzman.